Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, my name is Josh, and in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the Marriott Bonvoy Bountiful credit card by Chase. So we'll be going over the main features of this card, its pros as well as its drawbacks. So hopefully by the end of this video, you'll have a much better idea of whether or not this credit card is a good fit for you. But before we go ahead and dive into the main features of this card, if you wouldn't mind helping me out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the good old YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Plus, if you would like to receive up to $200 in free stock, in the pinned comment below, I will be leaving a link to Robinhood. All you have to do is once you click on that link is just sign up for a free account and then simply link your bank account. You do not even have to make an opening deposit. At that point in time, Robinhood will be sending you one free stock worth all the way up to $200. Okay, so diving right into the main features of the Marriott Bonvoy Bountiful credit card. First off, we're going to be discussing points and how you can earn them with this card. So starting out, you can earn up to 18.5 points per dollar spent on Marriott. So breaking that down, you can earn 6 points per dollar spent at over 7,000 hotels participating in Marriott Bonvoy when you use this credit card. Then you can earn up to 10 points per dollar spent just for being a Marriott Bonvoy member. And then you can earn up to 2.5 points per dollar spent with Gold Elite status, which is a benefit that you will qualify for just by having this credit card. Then on top of that, you can also earn 4 points per dollar spent on the first $15,000 in combined purchases each and every year on grocery stores as well as dining. And then finally, on all other transactions, you will be earning 2 points per dollar spent. Now with this card, there's also going to be a spend bonus as well. So as long as you're able to spend at least $4,000 within the first 3 months of having this credit card, you will be receiving a spend bonus of 85,000 points. Now keep in mind, the standard room, just the base room, is going to be 7,500 points per night. So basically that's going to work out to right around 12 nights in total after you add up all the points you're going to be earning on the transactions, as well as the spend bonus that you're going to be receiving if you go with the cheapest rooms available. Now, another thing that you should know is that your points are not going to expire as long as you make at least one purchase on your credit card every 24 months, so that's very helpful to know as well. Then with this card, there's also going to be some other perks as well. So just for instance, you will be receiving 1,000 bonus points per eligible stay at hotels participating in Marriott Bonvoy. You're also going to be receiving one free night award every calendar year as long as you spend at least $15,000 in that previous year. That is going to be redeemable of a level of up to 50,000 points per night. And keep in mind that certain hotels are going to have resort fees, which is something that you're going to have to cover on top of that. Then on top of that, you're also going to be receiving 15 Elite Night credits each calendar year, and you also receive automatic Gold Elite benefits. Then with this card, you're also going to be receiving some extra coverage for travel and purchases as well. So just starting out, you are going to be receiving baggage delay insurance. So with this, it is going to reimburse you for essential purchases like toiletries and clothing for baggage delays over 6 hours by passenger carrier up to $100 a day for 5 days in total, so it's going to work out to $500. Then you're also going to be receiving lost luggage reimbursement. So if you or an immediate family member check or carry on luggage that is damaged or lost by the carrier, you are going to be covered up to $3,000 per passenger. Additionally, you're going to be receiving trip delay reimbursement. So if your common carrier travel is delayed more than 12 hours or requires an overnight stay, you and your family are covered for unreimbursed expenses such as meals and lodging up to $500 per ticket. And then finally, you're also going to be receiving purchase protection. So with this, it is going to cover new purchases for 120 days against damage or theft up to $500 per claim and $50,000 per account. And then finally, you're also going to be receiving some partner benefits with this card as well. That's going to be through DoorDash. with Dash Pass. So with this, you are going to be getting 1 year free of Dash Pass, which is going to give you unlimited deliveries with $0 delivery fees and lower service fees on eligible orders. So now that we went over the main features of this card at this point in time, we are going to go ahead and dive into the APR and fees. And of course, that's also super important to know about as well. So starting out on purchases, your interest rate is going to be anywhere between 21.49 to 28.49% based on your credit worthiness. Then as far as balance transfers go, that's going to be exactly the same, 21.49 to 28.49% based on your credit worthiness. So with that said, it's probably not going to make a whole lot of sense to do a balance transfer, at least starting out, because you're not receiving any type of promotional APR of 0%. And then finally, as far as cash advances go, on this channel, we usually recommend to stay far away from cash advances. This, of course, should not be considered financial advice, just my own personal reasons. Usually with them, you have a very high interest rate, plus you have to pay a lot of fees as well. But if you do decide to take out a cash advance with this card, just know that your APR on them is going to be a whopping 29.99%, plus a lot of fees on top of that as well, which we are going to go ahead and dive into right now. So as far as your fees go, starting out on those cash advances, on each cash advance, you are going to have a fee of either $10 or 5%, whichever happens to be greater. Then as far as balance transfers go, even though, like I just mentioned, it's not going to make a whole lot of sense, at least starting out, to do a balance transfer with this card, because you're not receiving like a promotional APR of 0%. If later down the line they do offer you a promo APR that makes sense where you would do a balance transfer, it's still not going to be completely free though, because you are still going to have a fee on each balance transfer. That fee is either going to be $5 or 5%, whichever happens to be greater. There's also going to be a fee on each late or return payment. The fee on each late or return payment is going to be up to $40. Although if you do happen to pay late for the first time, maybe even the second time, you could try calling into Chase to see if they will waive that fee. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. Perhaps it might be better to set up auto pay or mark your calendar just to avoid even risking that late payment fee. Now with this card, there are not going to be any foreign transaction fees, so if you do happen to travel abroad, this is a card you can definitely take with you, and you won't be charged anything extra by Chase for using it. And then finally, the big fee with this credit card that you will have to evaluate every single year whether or not this card is worth keeping is going to be that annual fee. That annual fee with this card is going to be $250. So now that we went over the main features of this card as well as its APR and fees, at this point in time, I'm going to dive into what I would consider to be the best things about this card and the worst things about this card. So we're going to start out with the pros. We're going to start out with the positives here. The first one, of course, is that spin bonus, which once again is going to be 85,000 bonus points as long as you're able to spend at least $4,000 within the first 3 months. That's not going to be totally impossible to achieve. So all in all, not that incredibly difficult there. Secondly, you can also receive up to 18.5 points per dollar spent at Marriott Bonvoy hotels. Thirdly, you're also going to be receiving 1 free night per year starting after your first anniversary year, as long as you spend at least $15,000 in that calendar year. And then finally, with this card, there are not going to be any foreign transaction fees either. So if you do happen to travel abroad, this is a card you can definitely take with you, and you won't be charged anything extra for using it, at least by Chase. So those are the good things about this card. Now, as far as the drawbacks go, first off, the obvious one is that annual fee of $250. It is going to have to be something that you will have to evaluate on a year-to-year basis. Is this card worth keeping for you? Are you getting at least $250 back in value for this card to make worth paying $250 for this card worthwhile for you? Secondly, in order to get that free night, it's nice having the free night every single anniversary year, but you will have to spend $15,000 on this card per year in order to receive that 1 free night, which for some people might not really be all that achievable, and they might get a better bang for their buck using other credit cards throughout the year to earn better rewards and things like that. Also, on purchases and balance transfers, you're not receiving any type of introductory APR like you see with other credit cards out there on the market, where they might be offering you like a 0% introductory APR on either your purchases or your balance transfers or both. And then finally, you're not receiving any other credits for travel like TSA PreCheck or money at Marriott, like any credits at Marriott per stay, like if you choose to eat there at Marriott, or put other like other incidental expenses at Marriott, you're not receiving any credits there. So those are the drawbacks, but to just sum things up here, all in all for the first year, especially with receiving that 85,000 point spin bonus, it's going to be worthwhile. You're going to be getting your money back at least in the first year. As far as the second year moving forward, it really comes down to how loyal you are with Marriott. Do you typically stay at Marriott hotel brands quite a bit throughout the year? If so, it could make sense for you. However, if you're not really especially loyal to Marriott and you find yourself staying at, Hilton's or IHG brands or other brands, you're not really typically that loyal to Marriott, this credit card is probably not going to make the most sense for you. But that's all we have for today's review. I certainly hope you enjoyed and found value out of it. If you did, again, I would greatly appreciate it if you could give this video a like. Consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you in the next video.